Ni hao.
Ni hao. Ni hao, Kai Lan. Do you know that show?
Yeah, I've heard of it. I've never watched it. Yeah.
You're so much younger than me. I didn't think you would know that.
I know, I'm cultured.
Ni hao, Kai Lan. How about hola, yo soy Dora? Do you know that one?
Yeah. Delicioso. Can you say delicioso?
Swiper, no swiping. Angel, welcome to the party. I don't even know if you knew that that's the name of the podcast.
Party.
Welcome to the party.
Yeah, I did read a little bit of whatever you sent me. It was a lot.
I appreciate that. Okay, so you know what? I actually never thought in a million years that I'd actually be hosting a podcast, but I knew that in the off chance that I would, I wanted you to be one of my first guests. So I want you to genuinely know that I always knew I wanted you to be on the show.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
I can't believe I'm on here either.
What? No, okay, well, let me give a proper intro for anyone who is listening or tuning in. Angel Yin, okay, full name. Angel Yin is not only a friend of mine, but she's a player on the LPGA Tour. She's had one win on the tour, which was back in 2023. You've been on the tour since 2017.
Yes.
Right?
Well, no, 2016 on the European Tour.
Yeah.
And then on the LPGA 2017.
2017. And in my opinion, you are the most charismatic player on the LPGA Tour. That's what I think anyways.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah,
I just care about what you think. It's okay. Yeah.
Is this a pretty good intro? Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's a good intro.
Cool. Okay, so before we jump into like your story, I wanted to share with our viewers how we met.
Oh, yeah.
And I would love to hear it from you.
Oh, it was when I first turned pro. It was 2016.
Yeah.
And then I got my card on the European Tour, but getting full status there doesn't mean that you get to play the first few events.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was actually really tough to get into events, so I just played some mini tour in the beginning. And then you were playing mini tour events then. It was the Cactus Tour. I think still is called the Cactus Tour.
Yeah.
We played against each other because you were pretty good. So we were in the last few groups all the time. It was like 2 tournaments back to back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so I'm gonna share it from my point of view. Okay, so it was my first tournament of 2016, and I knew that I really wanted to like play like 20-something events. Like I was gonna really try, but I had to go the mini tour route because I was not like you, and I did not get on the European Tour. And I think I was leading after the first 2 days by like 1 shot to you. And we played together in the last day, and you completely, like, you kicked my ass. Like, you wiped me clean. Do you remember this? Can you?
It was at Oak Valley. I shot 8 under.
Yeah. She shot 8 under, bro. Like, okay, so first 9, we were both, like, 3 under.
Yes. It was, like, really competitive. You had those competitive eyes. You were, like, dogging me.
I wasn't dogging
My mom was just sitting in the cart next to me. Because she was like, oh, I don't want to walk this. Because everybody who's played Oak Valley knows that it's really hilly.
Mm-hmm.
And so she was just sitting next to me. And you were like super serious, super into it. I was like, oh, okay, I like competitive people.
That's so funny because she was very unserious. And I didn't know what to expect. And then we go into the back 9 and you just go lights out. You go like 4 under or 5 under. And then I just kind of like go even par. And I don't even know if you remember this, but obviously you're one of the longest hitters on tour. And on one of the holes, it's like a dog leg right or whatever. And I think I was only like 10 yards away from you. Mm-hmm. And you come up to me. You don't even know what I'm about to say. You come up to me and you put your hand, and you're taller than me. You put your hand on my shoulder and you go, aw, you almost hit it as far as me. Mind you, I'm like 5 years older than her. So I'm like, sick. That was really cool. So that was like, cool. But anyways, that was how we first met. And I wanted to ask you, what was your first impression of me?
That you were a competitor. And so I really respect that. Yeah, that was it. And then like after that, I just like saw your social media, and then I know that you were always venturing into different things with pageant, and then you got into
pageant. We don't talk about those times.
And then you really got into influencing, so golf influencing, and obviously it's something that you're familiar with, so it was cool that you to see you do new things, and then you did some trick shots, some tips, so you dabbled into everything, and I always respect the hustle with people, maybe it's my LA mindset, but I hate it when people just lay around, and then you never laid around. So I really, really respected that.
I appreciate that. Like, I obviously always heard your name, like, growing up, because you're...
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you're, like, a top player. It was always Angel Yin and Lilia Vu. Those were the two names, like, from, like, the younger, generation that was coming up. And then, obviously, we never played together until it came to professionally, because now age doesn't matter. And I remember thinking, when I was going to play with you, I thought for sure you were going to be, like, super serious, like, that kind of player that would, like, slam the club and stuff like that, or, like, hit yourself if you got pissed. And you were, like, so not. Like, you were so funny, and I remember looking over and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, she's not what I expected.
Do we sound like wackos?
I know, but no, that was actually
hitting
such
yourself.
Yeah. Okay, but that's what golf does.
I mean, that's
to you.
that's what golf
true.
does. It's very frustrating.
It can be frustrating. Okay, so let's get into it. I'm here to share your story, and I don't even think I know the answer to this question, but how did you get into golf?
So it was my mom's friend. She wanted her son to get into golf because his dad, man, this is a hard story. It's like a tongue twister. His dad.
I'm lost. Okay, I'm with you.
His dad was in Macau, but then when he comes back to visit, because he has to separate his time from work, and when he comes back to visit his son, he's mostly golfing because golf here is much better than Macau.
Okay.
And so she wanted her son to bond with him, but when you learn anything, it's always better to do it in a pair. So I was that pair.
I was dragged into this.
I was that side character. Yeah.
Okay.
Leading support role.
Oh, yeah. Okay, but then ever since, obviously, you stuck with it.
Yeah. He quit because he didn't like the sun on his skin. It was too much for him.
That sounds just about Asian.
Yeah. It was actually really hard because my mom always was against me getting into golf because she didn't think that was girly enough. And it's like what a girl should do. I mean, she's a Chinese mom, right? So it's just like the traditional thinking. And then my mom's friend was like, well, I paid for the first month, so you gotta go. She's like, oh my God, I can't waste money.
Wait, okay, so
it's revolving around money, the entire story.
How old were you when you started?
6 years old.
Oh, okay. So you're really young. And so then did you just like have like a natural knack for it? Like, did you love it?
No, I really liked it. I think I remember this very clearly when I was 6. I mean, this sounds crazy. I told my mom I want to play professional golf. Yeah,
really?
we didn't know anybody. So I learned, like, my first 2 people that I learned about is Jack Nicklaus and Tiger.
Okay.
And so, like, I hover my driver because of
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, does Tiger hover his driver?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Maybe
he
he doesn't do it anymore. I don't know. Maybe not now.
That's actually a really cute fun fact. Okay, so at 6 years old, you know that you want to turn professional. At what point did you realize, like, oh, I'm actually, like, pretty good at this?
I don't know if I was good at it right away, but I know I got it right away.
Yeah,
I mean, I do get things pretty fast. We did try other sports before golf, like, because, like, him and I, we would just, like, do everything together, and my mom wanted me to, like, move around. She didn't want me to be, fat. My mom's fat phobic, so she just wanted me to always be fit. I mean, look at how it turned out. But anyways,
Angel,
you said I can say anything.
You can.
And so we tried tennis. I did not like it. I told her I did not like to chase the ball and walk in a circle and not hit it because we couldn't hit it as a kid. So all I did was just go around the court and just pick up balls. And I was like, this is terrible.
This is stupid. Let's go play golf.
Why am I running here and there and here?
And missing.
And I'm not doing anything. There's no results. I'm not going forward. I'm not going backwards. It's just stupid. And so I hated tennis.
And so that's why, okay. And now
then
you're into
golf was just really calming for me because I was like a very, not spazzy, but I had a lot of energy. My mom didn't ever know what to do with it. Like, she had to time me to sit in front of the piano because I was like 2 minutes in, I'm like, I'm done. I'm like, no, I'm done.
Okay, so she made you play the piano too?
Yes, I did everything pretty much an Asian mom would want them to do.
So what else besides?
Ballet.
You did ballet?
But I was like a really big child. So everybody that was the same age as me was literally half a head to a head shorter than me. And I'm like 2 times their size. So it was always the most awkward thing for me. The only thing that was on my side was my flexibility. I was really flexible. But I just did not feel the grace that I saw in others because I looked so different to other people. I mean, I have like... kindergarten pictures where I'm just absolutely towering over these people.
Okay, so golf worked out for you,
Yeah.
obviously.
I went
Well,
astray.
we'll take. Okay, well, wait. Before we even jump into the golf, if you weren't a professional golfer, what do you think it is that you'd be?
I always thought I was gonna be a lawyer.
Really?
Yeah, but there's sometimes a lot of documents you have to read. So,
Yes.
yeah. So, maybe not.
Maybe not that. Wait, really? You really thought you were going to be a lawyer? Or like that's what you would want to be?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you turn professional, right? There's multiple routes that you could take, but like oftentimes players either go the collegiate route and then you turn pro after that, or you could just go professionally straight away. And you went straight away.
I went straight away, not by plan. I mean, it was like my mom was having dinner with her friends at someone's house, and then I was just hanging out. And then after her dinner, she was like, I have this grand idea. You should try out for Q school for the LET because of how high I was ranked as an amateur. I was eligible to go into the final stage.
Oh, wow.
But I was always wanting to go to USC. I just never committed because I didn't really know exactly what I was going to do. And so it was still my junior year.
Of high school?
16, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
And so she was like, just try it out, because everybody's like trying it out. And the LPGA obviously is closed, and it's like too much commitment, because you have to go through first stage to the second stage and then go through third. She was like, well, if we're just going to like mess around with it, let's just go to the final stage of the European Tour Q school since you're already eligible. And it was such their Q schools are like mid-December.
Right.
So it's like much later in the year, or early December.
Okay. And so someone sponsored you to go out and do... No, you did it yourself.
Yeah, I just did it myself. It was like we flew out to Morocco.
Right. Oh, yeah, because Morocco is where European Tour school is. And then, so you're 16 or you're 17 when this happened?
I was 16 when this happened.
Oh, my gosh. This is crazy. Okay, that's right.
Because my birthday's in October, and then I think I played it when I was 17.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you played really well. That you. No,
I didn't play that well. I think I dogged it out.
She dogged it out.
I was like on the 16th hole or going to 17. I looked up the leaderboard. And I'm like, crap. I'm like 2 strokes off. So I birdie to get in.
Okay, so then you got in, but then you had a win on the European Tour.
That was in 2017.
Oh, that was the following year.
Yeah.
And so then you came back, and then is that when you kicked my ass?
Yeah, so that 2016 year. I guess I did my Q school in 2015. That makes more sense.
Okay.
Man, my math is not mathing.
It's okay. I mean, that's like 7 years ago now or more. I know. This is crazy. Okay, so now you had a win on the European Tour, that was a big win. That was a big win for you.
Yeah, it was in Dubai. It was really fun.
Yeah. And then eventually on the LPGA Tour, you successfully had your first win just in 2023 in Shanghai.
Yes.
And how was that win for you? Like because you're now on the tour for 6-7 years, and you're waiting for that breakthrough, and now you finally have this win.
Yeah, I mean, it was really special to do it in Shanghai because it's always a city I really, really connected with and I liked, aside from golf.
Yeah.
I just always really love the city. Like, Shanghai snows, but it's not often. And I was like, I really want to see snow. Boom, the next day snowed. So it was always really crazy to be in that city. So that win was really special. Obviously, the first win, it's like validation that, I didn't really need at that time because I think I grew out of it. So the excitement of when you first win it to validate yourself wasn't really quite there for me because I feel like I've moved over that at that stage. Yeah, it was just really cool. Well, but I just because during that time it was when we played Solheim, I was picked because I didn't get in on points. I got in on points, but then at the last second because Andrew got in, I didn't get in on points.
Okay.
The Golf Channel introduced me as the only person on the team that hasn't won.
Oh, so that's one way to do it, Golf Channel.
But anyway, so I was like, oh, okay, cool. I didn't really realize, because at that stage, I didn't realize how big of a issue it is, because, it is, and I just kind of forgot about it, because I got through a lot in the last few years with injuries and such. So I was like, oh, yeah, I guess it's still a really big deal to win. And then I won again, and then I won again. I won, and I was like, oh, cool. Now everyone's like, oh, you won.
Yeah. And then when you won that, what was funny is that was that a playoff?
It was a playoff.
It was a playoff, and it was against Lilia. And it was just during one of the majors, you were in the same predicament,
Chevron.
and you guys were in a playoff, and then she got you, and this time you got her.
Yeah.
And so how was that being able to win, but also in a playoff?
It was special. I mean, everybody really liked it because it happened all in the same year.
Yeah.
I thought it was special. I do still think she won in that bargain in that trade-off. And she got a major and I got a tournament. But I really like Shanghai, so I can't complain, and I'm not going to be greedy about anything. So
Yeah.
I'm really happy, and I really like how it turned out. It was like a fairy tale. It was really awesome.
You know, I think because obviously ever since we first played together, we've stayed connected. And I think what was really wild, and I don't even know if you remember talking to me through this, is before that win, you were telling me how difficult it was for you to even want to be on tour. And that you were kind of going in and out. You're like, I don't even know if I want to
I wanted to quit.
This. Yeah. Yeah. But but you're someone who's actually very well ranked, and you've been well ranked throughout all your years on tour. You've made what I consider great money on tour. Why would you want to walk away? Like, what's going through your head?
When you go through periods of time of extreme injury, I couldn't lift a water bottle or sleep at night because my shoulder injury was so bad. And then the expectation of you playing well and a lot was always there. And then you have to support a team. You have to do support a living. Our income is so volatile.
Right.
It's not set. It's not fixed. And so if I don't play well for a certain stretch of period, then I'm losing money.
Right.
Even if you make the cut on the LPGA, if you finish towards the end, you're barely making the cut, and it's like paycheck to paycheck. And it's like you want to hire the best people on your team, but they're also expensive because they need to eat.
Yeah.
So
everyone needs to eat at this table,
everybody needs
guys.
to eat, right? So it just piles up, and then I couldn't see my golf ball fly straight. It was just going left and right, and I know all I'm doing is duct taping it, and I couldn't figure out why. And so I really just sat myself down at the end of 2022, and I was like, look, either we make it or we quit, because if we keep going like this, our bank account's going to run dry.
That's so crazy.
I mean, technically we're 1099s.
Okay.
We are, not technically, we are 1099s. So we get taxed a lot.
Okay.
And we have to spend a lot.
This. Okay.
We have to spend a lot. We're all independent contractors. We're not associated with any organization, which is quite funny because we get restricted to do things that we cannot do.
We'll get there. We're going to talk about this. So stay tuned.
Oh gosh.
No, this is interesting to me.
But yeah, so it's always been interesting. No one's really going to be out there be like, hey, you're not doing well, let me support you.
Right.
And our status works with how well you play each year.
Right.
You have to win to get a 2-year exemption, a guaranteed exemption, a major for 5 years. But if you finish really high up on the rankings, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, and I don't know this. I'm just stupid. But
no, you're not. Okay.
There is no such thing. And so it washes completely in the beginning of the next year.
Every single year. Okay.
Every single year. I mean, so it just gets so stressful. Some people who's been out tour for a decade and play consistent golf, all of a sudden on the 10th year gets an injury, and all of a sudden now they have to fight for their status of good play. When people already know who they are, you're kind of almost losing an icon in your own organization, because you can't always build up new fandom or fan bases for these people because they've been out here, they earned it.
Right.
My issue was that it was just so hard. I had to upkeep it, and I couldn't hit the ball straight. So then in 2022, I was like, okay, I need to fix it, or we're going to quit, because that's just the route we're going to lead. And then I'm going to have to, I don't know, figure out my life from there. Maybe be a lawyer finally.
Now it's time to actually go to school.
Maybe the court maybe needs me.
Yeah. Okay. So for those that are listening, the reason why I'm so kind of mind boggled is because when you look at Angel stats year by year, you've always been essentially top 50 in rankings, and or better. I think averaging on the higher side. Your career earnings, by the way, this is Googleable. I'm not trying to be a stalker or anything.
No, but all our stuff is
it's all
open.
viewable. Yeah, on the LPGA tour, you can see all this, and every single year, from a fan's eye, you've essentially made at least $500,000. Obviously, 2023 was an amazing year. So excluding 2023, you've made $500,000 in your earnings, but let's go back to what you were saying in terms of everything costs a lot. So let's say you make your $500,000. How much money are you actually spending on the travel, the caddy, the training, all the stuff?
So caddy gets paid by percentage of how you do.
Okay.
And so there's a percentage of that just gone. It's not like a set fixed salary.
But what if you miss a cut?
They do get that. So then my next thing is that each week they get a percentage, but if we don't do well, they still are guaranteed money.
Okay.
So we have money flowing out guaranteed for my caddy.
So it could be a loss. Like if you don't play
so
well,
you can probably lose around, conservatively saying, $3,500 to $4,000
in 1 week.
Yeah, without like much, because if you travel and you have to stay at a hotel or Airbnb. Now, if you stay at a host family, you can probably cut the cost down to like $2,000. But if you have a physio with you, that also goes up because a private physio is also quite costly.
Right.
So you can be looking at around like $6,000.
Okay. Now, I know that on the PGA Tour, when guys qualify and they get their tour status, they're gifted like a lot of money. I think it's like $300,000 to $500,000 just to go live. Like,
really?
Go do your
Oh wow.
Yeah, that became a new thing after like Live scared everybody, and now the guys just like they just piss money basically. It feels like.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I know, right? Right, and so you guys don't get that, and
no.
Is there ever tournaments where like they cover your like hotel and things like that?
Yeah, so in the recent years, there has been really like kind sponsors that have supported us and have covered our accommodation. One of them is Michelle's tournament.
The Mizuho?
The Mizuho is graciously covered.
Good.
And then the new sponsor that's come in is FM.
So literally, you're someone that performs so, in my opinion, you perform so well on the tour, and you're out here literally contemplating quitting because the costs and everything, it's just too stressful. Like, how much more a player that's like trying to hold on to their tour card?
I mean, there are some girls who play on tour that don't have that much like of a high status. Do work.
I mean, like work outside of professional golf, you mean?
Yeah, they do work on their off season.
Oh my gosh.
Because their off season actually starts in October.
Okay.
So my season has like 3 more tournaments left, but their season's already done.
That's just crazy. I mean, and this is why we need more money on the women's golf tour.
I mean, I feel like our purses have really grown. I cannot say like, oh, we need more money.
Sure.
I think it's more how we distribute it.
Right.
Obviously, like the person who won should get paid the most for that event.
For sure.
But if the wealth can be a little bit like fairly distributed, then or just other ideas of how the sponsors can be brought in, then that would be different. Because I can't sit here and say like, oh, we're not getting enough money for our tournaments, because I don't want any organization or market to be overvalued.
Sure.
And if we continue to inflate our values and we're not like showing up like results, like is our TV numbers up, is our engagements of fans up,
right,
then we're just inflating our own numbers, and then we're overvaluing ourselves. And I don't stand for that, and I don't like that. And I know that like the PGA Tour gets more because they bring in more. And so, my thing, which LPGA is doing, from speaking to our elected people, is that
our governing bodies.
Yeah, our governing bodies that's not golfing, is that they are doing that, trying to boost engagement, everything all around.
Right.
And not just like, hey, we need more money for the tournaments.
Right.
Because that's just not the issue. Issue. The main issue is to be able to spread the name out to, hey, what is LPGA? Like, how can we get the common folks and the households to know more about LPGA? And so I think that's more important, and I think that's hopefully that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, no, that actually perfectly leads to my next question is like, I want your honest opinion on like how do you feel about the LPGA as an organization? Like, do you feel like they're doing a great job? Do you think the newer leadership has been killing it, or not?
I definitely don't think they're doing bad.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, I don't think they're doing bad. Can I say they're doing great? I don't think I'm as involved as some people on our tour to be able to give that answer, because I'm not a person that goes like, hurrah, we're all great and happy, let's sing Kumbaya together. I am mostly just golf. I'm very like to myself in a way. I don't really like to put myself into other people's businesses unless I want to be like a player rep or whatever it is, right? So seems like to me they're doing fine.
Okay, so then if you had advice or a recommendation that can help the LPGA Tour from your point of view, what do you think that you could say? If you could change something on the tour to hopefully be better, what would you hope for?
Oh, gosh. Okay, so I mean, this goes back on what I think is men and women are different. So
Yeah.
men are just more performance based, like
Yeah.
more powerful and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
they're the performance side. Girls we're naturally born mothers. So we have more nurturing, and our characteristics are different.
Yeah.
And if we can probably go more engagement side, be able to be more personable, because every time a person plays a pro-am and I'm speaking to them, they go, I love playing on the LPGA pro-ams because the girls are more engaging.
Yeah, I hear that all the time.
They're much kinder, and they actually have a conversation with us.
Yeah.
And so if we can just explore more in that route to get our name out, I think that'd be really cool. But that's just my opinion.
No, I think that your opinion is very valid. No, I actually think that's a very safe response, and I appreciate that response. I would sit here and yell at everyone just to be like, watch the LPGA Tour because these players are actually really cool. Like, I will say that the Solheim Cup that last year I attended my first one, and I thought it was actually the most exciting thing, and everyone was so pumped and all the fans were engaged, and they were saying too that I had way more fun being around the girls because not only were their personalities out, but it's they're a lot more relatable, and you can actually talk to them. And then with the pro-ams, I always hear that too. I've played in quite a few pro-ams with the guys on tour. I played with John Rahm and all these people, and I'm you barely get a sentence out of them. And I feel like these people, they really get to know you guys, especially someone like you.
Yeah, that's why I think that we're different.
Right.
And so if we keep going down on that route, I mean, obviously not too much because we're still golfing, but if we can just kind of explore more in that realm, I think it would help.
Yeah. Okay, so you won the how do you pronounce this? Is it the Aon Risk Reward Challenge?
Aon Risk and Reward, yes.
Okay, can you please explain what that even is? Because I just learned this last night. Because you won. Okay, please explain though.
So Aon Risk and Reward is sponsored by Aon.
There we go. I'm sorry.
Number uno. Anyways, and they have $1 million for at the end of the year for whoever that player does the best on the risk and reward hole. Now, what the risk and reward hole is there's a hole every week for that tournament. Could be the 13th hole, could be the 15th hole, whatever hole they pick. And you get 4 tries or 2 if you don't make the cut. And they take 2 scores. And you have to make birdie.
Okay.
Essentially, if you don't make birdie, you lose points.
Oh, really?
So 100% score will be negative 1.00. So if you look at the point system.
Okay.
I had to do this last year because I was like, I'm leading. How do I win?
Yeah, you're in contention. Right,
Wow,
right.
How do I win?
Yeah. Okay.
It's a lot of money.
Okay.
And so 100% score, if you look at a test score, is negative 1.00. And then you see a lot of girls who's leading right now, it's 0.84, whatever. That means they've made, out of all the holes they've played, 36 holes of the holes they played, they've made 4 pars.
Okay. Got it. Okay, so coming into each tournament, do you know which hole counts? Okay, got it.
So there's Aon boards on that hole.
Okay, that would make sense. If you didn't know, you know that this hole matters and you better go low on it. Okay, got it.
So you just want to make birdie. Obviously, let's just say, hypothetically, we say you make birdie on every single hole, and then all of a sudden you get an eagle. Because they take the 2 best scores.
Right. Amongst the round. Okay, got it.
You make an eagle, so then your total will be negative 1.1.
Okay.
So you can go more than 1 point.
Okay, got it.
But that's just 100%.
And okay, so then in 2023, you clearly performed the best amongst all those holes, and then how much did you win?
I won $1 million.
That's freaking crazy.
Yeah.
But what is the tax on that?
A lot. I was like, oh, numbers just gone. Damn.
Okay, but when you won, did that provide so much relief for you as well?
It did. I was like, everyone's like, what are you going to do with it? I'm like, put it in my vault so that I can support my future endeavors like golfing if I don't golf that well that week.
Oh my gosh, that's so
Pay
crazy.
people. I did pay my manager. I did hire someone.
Wait, so what was your actual like first? Did you not have like a first big purchase after that? You didn't want to like I deserve this.
I went over that. I was like that when I first got on tour.
Okay.
I was like, oh, let me buy myself a Gucci glasses. It was really cool.
That's what you chose to give yourself, Gucci glasses?
It was my first purchase, like when I first turned pro and I got my first paycheck. Well, my first paycheck on the LET, I got my mom a car.
Oh, that's very sweet. It is very sweet.
And then my first check on the LPGA, I got myself, like, big check. I got myself a Gucci glasses.
That's all you got yourself?
Yeah.
You didn't think to like get yourself a car?
No, because it's not practical. I just
she
share it
gets
with
her
my mom.
A car. This sounds just about Asian to me, but this is not what this podcast is about. We can talk about our
Asian
our background
heritage.
and how we must give back to our parents. That's why we're born, is to give back to them, everyone.
We don't even belong on this earth unless we give back.
Unless we give back to them.
Our birthdays are to celebrate them.
Yeah, unless we get them out of retirement. That's what matters most.
Yes.
Anyways, shout out to our moms because they're also the most supportive.
Yes.
So there's that. That's the politically
most
right
involved
answer.
Too.
The most involved. That's right.
Unwillingly.
Okay, so your mom is with you, I feel like, at like every tournament.
Yeah. She really enjoys the environment. You can ask her. She'll be like, oh, no, I don't like. That's how she sounds, too. But she really, really enjoys walking because she thinks it keeps her healthy. She really likes it because people compliment, oh, you look so fit. She's like, oh, yes, I do. And then she likes the competitive side. She likes it all. And so she always likes to follow. Yeah.
There you go. And okay, I love that. So when my parents were following me when I was a kid, they were like always hiding behind a tree because I knew that if I saw them, I'd get really pissed. And like if I missed a putt, my mom, like, she would show her reaction and it would just like send me off. So my dad would also hide because they would just psych me out. Like you don't feel that way with your mom, right? Does she react when?
She glares at me.
You like see her through the whole crowd and it's just your mom staring
sitting on a chair glaring at me through her sunglasses, and I know she's glaring at me because her body language. I just know her really well.
That's so funny.
And my mom's fingers are really skinny, so then it becomes like this, like talons.
Okay, we love you, Mrs. Yin. I just want you to know that. Anyhow. Okay, so last year was the Solheim Cup. And you didn't get chosen.
Yeah.
And I know we chatted about this, but I wanted to kind of hear from you. Firstly, like, how is the news delivered? Like, do you just get a phone call? You're like, hey, you're in. Hey, you're out.
Some players get a phone call.
Okay.
If you're not there.
Mm-hmm.
I've always just been spoken to because I'm right there with them.
I'm physically here. Yeah.
And so, I guess had I not been at the golf course, they would just called me. Sorry, my last time I didn't get picked, I got a phone call.
Okay.
Yeah, and so it's delivered both ways, whatever's convenient to the captain.
Okay, so the captain gives you a call, and then at around what time because I'm sure like a lot of the players on the European and the USA side, they're sitting and waiting for like, it's time to get a call. Like, what tournament are you expected to know if you're in or not?
So they tell us.
Okay.
So they tell us like in the beginning of the year.
Oh, okay, got it.
They're like, okay, our deadline is the British.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the time, it's always at the British.
Okay, got it. And I feel like this last Solheim, I mean, obviously, I'm your friend, so it's like I am always rooting for you, and I think that you deserve to be there. And even though, okay, so explain to the people who are listening how that works. Like, how many girls get automatically qualified into the team, and how many are picked?
So technically, before COVID, it wasn't COVID. Before COVID, it was 8. 8 automatic for Solheim points.
Got it.
2 world ranking points.
Okay.
And then 2 picks.
Okay,
so technically
12 players?
10 who automatically gets in.
Okay.
There's always only been 2 picks.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think since COVID changed, we had to have a back-to-back year.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll explain what the back-to-back happened is. So we had 2023 and then 2024 back-to-back Solheim. So they only happened once before it was 9/11. They had us, I think, stop tournaments.
Right.
And so our Solheim fell under the same year as Ryder Cup. And we cannot do that. And so to accommodate the Ryder Cup, we
skip the year.
Okay,
so
got it. We don't really skip a year. We just go back-to-back.
Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah.
Okay,
They
got
go
it.
on their normal schedule, but we have to like play back to back.
Okay.
And so that's why, hence the back to back happened.
Right.
Yeah, and so they just never changed it back to its normal vetting process with the because they wanted 3 picks. And so it was 7 points off the Solheim Cup points, and then 2 a Rolex ranking, and then 3 picks.
Okay.
I just so happened because I broke my foot this year. I was much higher, and I played really well going into the British and where like the points cutoff was. But I finished 8th.
Yeah.
On the Solheim Cup points, and
that's so crazy. So you're right on the cusp.
Yeah, well, technically I was in if it wasn't COVID, like COVID rules.
Yeah.
Because 8 gets in before.
Right.
Now it's 7.
Okay.
And then 2 on Rolex still.
Got it. Okay. So, because in my eyes, like from people watching, I felt like, okay, if you weren't the automatically qualified to play in the Solheim, you would be the next in line. Do I have that basically right? Like, you were truly right there.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Right. Okay. To break it down, Angel was right there. And so then you get...
Well, technically I was in if it wasn't for the rule change.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, but they didn't go with you. And I wanted to walk through how that made you feel.
Oh, well, I can't sit here and say it made me feel great. It made me feel like shit. My first curse word on this podcast, but I was absolute fucking crap. I was like sitting there, and she was telling me about it, and I was like, okay, I just wanted to leave.
Like, get me out of here.
Just kept going. I was like, okay, I really get the point. I'm not gonna be on this team.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just like leave.
Yeah.
And then but I was like pretty calm in the beginning, and then I left, and then like 10 minutes in, it just like hit me hard, and I was like, I was like bawling, and I was like really, really angry.
Yeah. I was angry for you.
Yeah, I was just like really angry. And then you can't tell anybody because it's not public yet. So nobody knows. And I'm just like staring at people, and I'm just like,
everything's okay. Yeah.
And then like, cause like someone came up to me, and I was just like, they were like looking at me, and they're like, oh yeah, so Solheim. I was like,
don't even say those words.
I was
don't
like,
even talk to me.
So I just was like, I didn't get in, right? Stop.
Okay.
Anyways, I was just really,
it was devastating.
Yeah. I mean, like, I had fellow players that wasn't part of the team, like, call me, and they were like, oh, I hope you're okay. And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. They're like, you don't need to lie. We know you're not okay.
Oh, gosh.
I'm like, yeah, that's true.
Okay, this is my last question in terms of Solheim, because I'm not going to try and, like, stab you. So, did you feel like it was fair?
Did I feel like it was fair? No, but I don't think anything in life is fair. So I think you work for it. The best way I could put it is that hashtag play better.
But you played well. Do you think that it was at all...
Not good enough. So
do you think it's favoritism?
I don't know what it is, because this is the way I view it. As a captain, they need to make the most difficult decision there is. They need to think about everything.
Right.
Sometimes a captain think about personality. I mean, I haven't played on that many, so I can't really tell you all the captain's experiences.
Okay.
But what I've experienced is some value personality, some value stats, and
this one really valued stats. This captain really valued stats. Yeah.
But I thought my stats was great. But
I thought so too.
It doesn't matter. So it goes back to like, hey, like, what she thinks is best for the team and how to win that cup back.
Right.
We have lost a lot of cups. And so
we did well though this past one.
This last year was really good. We kind of dominated until the last day. It got really tight. So it was good TV.
Yeah. It was good TV.
It was good.
Shirts off.
It was hey, Suzanne said it. Sex sells.
Yeah.
It does sell.
She did say that.
Yeah. And so the song before, like in Inverness, when I didn't get in, I couldn't watch it. I got really sick. That week I got super sick. That I thought I was gonna go to the ER. The only reason why I didn't go to the ER was because my Asian side came out. It was like the cost of the ambulance was too much. The cost of getting an IV was too much.
The next pod, we will dive into our traumas of being Asian, okay? All right, anyways.
Yeah, so I was like, absolutely not. I wrote it out. I was like, either we die, not in debt, or we overcome and we don't even ever think about it again. So that's what I did. I just like couldn't get out of my sofa. I think I had to like fly. I can't remember. I needed to fly somewhere. I just couldn't fly anywhere.
Okay.
So
wait, were you ill because
I was really sad.
You were. Are you serious?
Yeah, I was. I get really emotional.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can tell, but I do. I do get really emotional. I'm sometimes a big wuss. But anyways, let's not talk too much about that. I get super emotional at times. Like whenever I see a puppy, I'm like,
okay, I mean, I get it. I will do the same.
You should know by now.
Okay, got it. Okay, so we're not going to talk about any sad stuff. We do actually have to wrap it up here, but I do thank you for your vulnerability. I appreciate that.
Yeah, anyways, I get really sad, and then I didn't watch it at all. And then this one, I did follow up a lot. As much as I can, because I did practice.
Mm-hmm.
So while I was practicing during the day, I couldn't really keep up with it too much. But whenever I go back at home, I try to like watch a few clips, and then I really like press conferences.
Yeah.
So I've always just try to watch as much press conferences as I can. Mm-hmm. It's really hard to find press conferences online.
Wait, okay, that's another thing that we're going to work on is getting more press conferences. And if not, we're going to do the press con right here, okay? Got it.
Yeah, I mean, I just couldn't find anything. I really wanted to know what the players were going to say, the captains were going to say, and what the opposing side was going to say. And I just wanted to see what's going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, I really kept up with Solheim this year, and I thought it was pretty fun.
Well, next Solheim, I expect to see you there. Okay, hands down. I will literally scream, I will fly there. Which, by the way, I think I owe you an apology because I think I told you that I was going to be there for you on your first LPGA win. However, I obviously did not know you won until I woke up. So I missed it and I could not fly to China. I would have loved to be there, but I will be there at your next one. Obviously, this pod is all about, getting to know people like you who are on tour, providing better platforms, especially for the girls that I feel like really deserve it, but also welcoming new golfers into the game, especially there's like a lot of girls getting into it. What is your best advice for girls just, trying to get into the game? Like your honest advice.
Swing it. If you like it, keep going, have fun. If not, then have a beer and maybe you'll like it.
Bring a friend.
Yeah. Bring a friend too. Bring a friend. Okay. It's a friend activity.
It is. Just like how you started. You learn with having two of you, and then one will eventually quit because you just are way better. Okay, we are ending on a quick game. Okay, do you know the game F Kill Marry?
Yeah.
Okay, but we're changing it because I'm not going to say that word. Instead, it's called Travel, Kick Off the Tour, or Marry.
Okay.
Are you ready? Don't look at my laptop.
Okay.
Okay, so the first choices are, okay, so Travel, Kick Off the Tour, or Marry. It's Charlie Hull, Rose Zhang, Lydia Ko.
What is this? Wait, Charlie, Roseanne, who?
Charlie, Rose, and Lydia Ko. Who would you travel with?
I would travel with, what was the second option? Like,
Rose Zhang.
No. Like,
travel, Kick Off the Tour, or Marry.
I don't want to kick anyone off the tour. I actually really like all three of them.
Someone's going to get kicked off the island, Angel.
Man, you could have picked worse players. Anyways.
I chose likable players.
Yeah, I'll probably travel with Charlie because I think she's such a blast.
Okay.
Man, this is going to be bad.
Kick Off the Tour and Marry. You have Rose Zhang or Lydia.
I'm going to say kick off the tour with Lydia because I think she might retire soon. So if she's not doing it, I'm not doing it.
She's done well enough. Okay.
No, because she's sent it, she posted this cryptic Instagram message saying she's not going to be in the next Olympic when she was going to be in LA. Oh. So she's doing it herself.
Okay, so it's on her. Yeah. Okay, so then you'd marry Rose?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Last one. Okay, we're going into...
both Asian traumas that we can bond over.
We'll work on that. Last one, and it's same thing. Travel, Kick Off the Tour, Marry. And these are now LPGA legends.
Oh my gosh.
Laura Davies, Julie Inkster, Christy Kerr. Who would you travel with?
I'll travel with Christy.
Okay. Really?
Yes, I'll travel with Christy.
Okay. Kick off the tour.
I mean, she's really, really nice, honestly.
I think she just hates influencers. But she liked me.
Yeah.
But I'll take that. She gave me some of her wine. So, okay. I like
wine's
Christy.
Really good.
Her wine is really good. If you got dropping it in for Kerr Sellers, y'all. Kerr Sellers. Okay. You're going to travel with Christy. Who would you kick off the tour? Laura Davies or Julie?
I'll do Laura Davies just because I don't know her that well. And,
okay.
Julie's like my other mom.
She's the best. You'd marry Julie.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, Angel, that wraps it up. thank you for joining the party. I really enjoyed getting to know you more. And where can everyone find you? Besides on the LPGA.
Just on the LPGA or that, or you have my phone number. So.
It's at Angel Yin, I'm pretty sure, for everyone asking.
Yes, but I'm not that active, so don't get offended.
All right, y'all. Till next time.